Hey guys, so in my last video I showed you how to properly load a Hasselblad 500 series camera, and I thought for this video it would be a fun idea to just go out and shoot with it for the weekend. So hope you enjoy.
I look green though because of your jacket.
Color theory. Hey guys, so I just finished processing and scanning the film, and I wanted to give a little pros and cons as to what I thought of the camera. So these opinions are my own. I'm just basing it off of what I look for, or things that I guess bug me or really are appealing to me in a camera when I'm shooting with them. So let's start with the pros. First pro. It is definitely a different way to compose a photograph. When you're making a picture, I'm used to, let me grab my camera. Alright, so when I'm making a picture, I'm used to shooting like this. I'm looking through my viewfinder, it's right in front of me. Once I get, is there film here? Okay. Once I get the shot that I want, I click, and that's it. It's very much what your eye is seeing, you look through, you take a picture, blah blah blah. However, with the Hasselblad, as you had seen with how I had loaded the film, you have to look down, which might be a little awkward for people, but I found that once I had finished focusing, I could lower the top glass piece that's made for when you're up close to it focusing, and I could just compose the image like right here. Well, it would be lower, but I'm doing this so you can see. I could compose the image in a way where it's like looking in live view mode. So I guess that'd be like a different way to compose an image, and honestly it made me slow down a lot more, which is really good because with digital cameras and cameras like that, you're used to just snap, 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 snap because you have no film. And slowing down and taking photographs really helps you build your eye and improve, and I think that this camera is very important for photographs like that. The second pro is that because it's a 6x6 frame, you do get 12 images as opposed to 10, which is with my Pentax, because it's a 6x7, I only get 10 frames per roll of film. It's only 2 more, but it's actually, it makes all the difference. That's 2 more frames that you can walk around, walk another 10 minutes. Maybe you'll see something that you really want to capture, and you can make it there. On the same note, the third pro is that the backs are interchangeable. If you saw with my video where I loaded the film, you can see that I pulled the back piece off of the camera and I loaded it separately from the camera itself, which means this gives you an opportunity to purchase multiple backs. They're a little expensive, but you can still do it at least. You can purchase multiple backs. Let's say have 2 extras saved in the back. So if you're in a moment where you're capturing a lot of photographs, let's say you're in a studio setting, if you have an assistant with you, or even if you don't, you can just take it back, put it in, keep going, and you can get essentially, let's say, like if you had 2 extras, that's 32 frames. 36. That is 36 frames you can have. That's equivalent to 1 roll of 35mm, which doesn't seem like a huge difference, but once you've started shooting with film, you really do appreciate the 36 frames you get in a 35mm camera as opposed to the 10 or 12 you get in a medium format. My fourth pro is that the camera is entirely manual, which means that there is no battery needed. So if you're out in the middle of nowhere, or you don't want to keep purchasing batteries, this camera runs completely in on itself. My final pro would be that the camera is just really easy to use. Like, I think the most complicated part about the camera is what I showed you in the how to load the film video, because after that, the camera is just, it's so easy to use. You just focus, you hit the shutter release, wind it up, just like any other film camera that you could purchase. It got a little dark, so I turned on the lights. Hey Siri, what time is it? Bitch. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 2:28 p.m.
Cool. So moving on to the cons. The first con for me definitely is that the camera is incredibly bulky. Not to say that my camera isn't bulky. As you can see here, this guy is a tank. It's so bulky, so awkward. My second con would be that the camera is a little heavy, which if you have a backpack, it's not really a big deal, but if you're carrying it around your neck, with how bulky it is and the weight, it might be difficult for you to walk around. If you have a heavy camera, you know how carrying something for a longer amount of time can eventually hurt your neck. Number 3 would be that the camera is really loud. I myself don't do any street photography, or for the most part, yeah, I don't. It's not really my style. I feel uncomfortable doing it. If you're sneakily trying to catch pictures of people, it may be easier in New York City because there is a lot of background noise, but if you're like in a smaller setting, like everyone within like a 10 feet radius can hear that shutter slap because it's kind of loud. My fourth con, which might not be a big deal for people, is that the camera is completely manual. So like I said before, it's great in that it doesn't require batteries, but you are going to be manually focusing, which if you're doing things like weddings and you want to capture moments as they happen, it might not be the easiest. This camera does require you to slow down and really think about your composure and compose your images in a different way. So my fifth and final con would be that the camera is definitely a slower process. You definitely have to stop what you're doing, compose your image, really focus on capturing it, which I guess might be a pro for some people. Some people would prefer to slow down and breathe and really take in the composition and really plan it accordingly, and some people thrive on that, but then some people don't. We're all different photographers. So those are my pros and cons for the camera. I hope they were informative. To end off, I'm going to show you more images that I've taken with the Hasselblad, and maybe that'll be more informative for people who might want to buy the camera. It'll be a combination of both color and black and white photographs, so I hope you enjoy. I hope this video was informative to you and it wasn't too long. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below. You can follow my Instagram at Kish IG or at Darkroom Sundays, and my website is down below as well. Yeah. Keep shooting.